You might already know that you want to move abroad. The issue is whether or not you're ready to turn that plan into reality and make it happen. Now, that question stops a lot of people, not because they're not serious. It's because moving abroad is a big life decision and nobody wants to get it wrong. So maybe the questions you're asking yourself are, do I have enough money? What if I choose the wrong country? What if I make a mistake? What if I get there and I realize I really wasn't ready? Those are real questions, but underneath the surface is an even bigger one. And that question is, do I have a good enough plan to make this move abroad work? Do I have enough structure? No one magically wakes up one day and decides that they want to move abroad. It's something that you build up to, and it's something that you have to prepare for and be ready for. So little by little, decision by decision, make a plan to move abroad. And most people misunderstand what being ready to move abroad means. And that's what we'll be discussing today. Most people, when they talk about being ready, they think about money. I have enough money, I can pack my bag and leave tomorrow. And money does matter. Being financially ready doesn't mean you have to be rich. It means understanding how you'll support yourself once you actually leave. Where will your income come from? What will your real monthly costs look like? How much breathing room do you need? Can your current budget support the country that you're considering? Because at some point, moving abroad stops being an idea and it becomes real life. And this is the part that some of us, including myself, don't talk about or we neglect to think about, and that's the emotional readiness. This is where moving abroad gets really real for a lot of people. Can you stay grounded when things feel unfamiliar? Can you handle not knowing how everything works? Can you ask for help? Are you willing to ask for help without feeling like you're failing? Can you have a hard day without deciding the entire move was a mistake? Because moving abroad will test more than your budget. It will also test your patience. It will test your flexibility and your ability to sit with discomfort and your willingness to keep learning while you're living it. And this is where the idea of moving abroad starts to meet real life, because moving abroad is not just about cheap rent. It also comes with a different set of systems, different rules, different paperwork, different expectations, and a whole different way of getting things done. Immigration is a big part of that. A lot of people spend months researching countries, neighborhoods, apartments, and cost of living, but they spend very little time researching where they can stay legally based on their income. Recently, there were debates and headlines about immigration policies in Europe. Regardless of where you stand politically, it points to something very important, and that's every country has immigration rules and laws that we have to meet as people moving abroad from the US. This is why I always stress not to fall in love with a country until you fully understand what the immigration laws are for us as Americans. Falling in love with a country is very easy, but building a path to staying there legally is a part that most of us skip. So before you build a plan to move abroad and leave the US, look at your visa options first. Look at your residency requirements and look at your income requirements. Look at what it actually takes to stay there long term, not 90 days or a quick holiday. Even here in Albania, where Americans can stay for up to a year visa-free, that doesn't mean having a long-term plan. You have to think beyond that if you're looking to stay outside the US beyond a year. So if you're planning on coming to Albania, where the visa option is we can stay here legally 1 year visa-free as Americans, don't let the year go by without a residency plan or plan, and then you have no choice but to end up leaving. Because visiting a country and building a life there are two different things. And if you don't understand that early on, it can become really stressful really fast. So the real question is not just, am I ready? The better question is, can I build stability in a place that I don't fully understand yet? Can I support myself there? Can I adjust myself emotionally? Can I handle the legal and practical steps of living in Albania or anywhere else you plan to move to? And can I keep going when things feel unfamiliar? Because that's the real test. Readiness doesn't mean perfection. It means structure, having a plan. And you don't need to have every answer for every question right now. You just need a clear next step. You may not know every detail yet, but you need to know what needs to be researched, what needs to be confirmed and what you cannot ignore. Once you understand that, then moving abroad stops feeling like a giant leap and it starts to feel like a process that you can prepare for and one that you can break down, that you can move through one decision at a time. And that is what readiness looks like. Not having all the answers to know everything up front, but having enough clarity to understand what your next steps should be. So if you're in that stage right now, you're thinking about moving abroad, researching countries, trying to figure out exactly what's your next step, this is exactly the stage that I help with. Now, She Moves Abroad is not a relocation company. Don't file visas, process residency paperwork, do tax planning, or help move your belongings overseas. What I help with is the part that comes before that, the thinking phase, the research phase, and the planning phase. Inside the She Moves Abroad Toolkit, I walk you through the 3 phases step by step. The first phase is to get clear on your budget, your destination options, and your legal questions. Then phase 2 is sorting through the logistics, what to sell, what to pack, what to store, whether you may need relocation support. Then the final phase is to build your departure plan without second guessing. And when you get to the part where you need formal visa, tax planning, or relocation support, I have trusted partners and resources that I can point you to. If you're not sure where to start with a 15-minute clarity session. I'll help you sort through your country, your budget, your visa, and your timeline questions. You can book a session in the link below, and if you don't see a time that works for you, use the waitlist and tell me when you're available for a session so we can help you through your move abroad. If you're thinking, researching, or planning your move abroad, She Moves Abroad helps you to figure it out with clarity. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel and this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button so I can keep bringing you more information about moving abroad. Thank you. We'll see you on the next video.